This is the dawn of a new era in British karting. Over 550 drivers in 12 classes competing for victory over 18 race weekends. This is the Motorsport UK British Kart Championships.
Rotax 177, who never really need any introduction. But there's one driver that has really been getting to grips with the circuit here at Rowrah, and that is Charlie Wally, who isn't taking the circuit lightly and has been getting some welcome seat time ahead of the race weekend.
This year we've seen quite a few seniors come up as well, you know, some of the taller guys. So it's a massively competitive field, and we're having to put a lot of extra effort in this year to make sure that we can fight at the front. There's a lot of extra testing that goes involved. For example, we were at this track 2 weeks ago making sure that we're at the club meeting and doing the necessary testing. So yeah, there's an awful lot of effort that goes into it this year. Preparation's key at every track, but on a track like this, which I'd say is a real driver's circuit, it's very technical, you've got to get everything right so that you can get the most out of the kart. Particularly on a weekend as well, like this weekend, where it's wet, it's dry, you know, you've got hot and cold temperatures, so just a pound or two difference on the tyre pressure can make a massive difference and see you going backwards or forwards.
Race number 17 of the weekend, and it's Michael Cheek, the E-plate holder, alongside Luke Oliver on the front row of the grid. Cheek won both his heat races and the first final, and now he's going to try and go for the win in this fourth round of the 2019 season. Luke Oliver alongside him on the front row of the grid. It's a good start, first time of asking, and it's an excellent start from the driver in third of the grid, the number 72 of James Beecroft, the championship leader coming into this weekend. He tries to muscle his way into second but can't do it. Down towards the first hairpin on this 1,030 metre circuit, and Beecroft has to make do with third place at the moment. It's Cheek who leads from Oliver, Beecroft, Jamie Zyra in the number 27 car. Started fourth and has dropped back a little bit, but as they plunge downhill towards the Stuart S's, it is Cheek in the lead. He negotiates the first part of the S, is now up towards the paddock once again, through the kink, down the hill towards St John's Bend. And he leads, and Jamie Zyra making the move on Luke Oliver for second. Nathan Chafer has come up to fourth place in the number 99 car, the CRG machine. The sun begins to shine once again on what is a sodden racetrack here in Cumbria. The end of lap number one. It is Cheek, Zyra, Oliver, Chafer, Colin Davis is fourth, then James Beecroft, who has slipped back after a moment. Oh, and there goes off from third place Luke Oliver, outbraking himself into the first hairpin, onto the gravel. That's the bark actually. He scrambles back on but has lost a number of positions. Michael Cheek finds himself with a little bit of breathing space as he aims to turn third place in the championship standings into the race lead, into the championship lead rather. Through St John's and Sunny he goes to complete lap number two. The race leader, Michael Cheek, being chased hard now by his Dan Holland Racing teammate Jamie Zyra. Up into third place comes Nathan Chafer at the expense of Luke Oliver. Behind Chafer rather is James Beecroft, then Colin Davis. Cole Edwards comes next, and as Michael Cheek heads down towards the first hairpin, taking that wide entrance into the hairpin, not using the traditional racing line. And in fourth place, that is James Beecroft, getting a little bit leery coming out of the second hairpin. And Beecroft maintains P4, loses a little bit of ground to Nathan Chafer. Chafer, not been here before in the rain, and is learning all the while, the only driver on a CRG chassis in the field. And he is making Very good progress as the weekend continues. He was not particularly quick in qualifying, but now the number 99 driver on that orange and black liveried kart has really got to grips with the chassis well in a short space of time. The leaders start lap number 4 with Jamie Zyra setting a new fastest lap, 59.59 seconds. It's down towards hairpin number 1. Zyra closing in on Cheek, now up the hill towards Iredale's. Second right-hand 180 degree hairpin, the top of the circuit, the highest point of the track. And now down the long back straight with the lake on the driver's left-hand side. Hard on the brakes into the Stewart S's. They flick right, left, right again to come out of those S's, through the kink, down the hill towards St John's Bend. Using a lot of curb going into St John's and clattering over the middle curb at Sunny. So an awkward off-camber left-hander. Up another sharp incline into paddock. Early apex. Let the kart sort of float out as much as you can from the exit of that to complete a lap here of this very picturesque, very technically demanding circuit. And Zyra starting to work over Cheek. He goes to the crossover move, up the inside goes Zyra, but he can't get the kart slowed down in time, and Cheek retakes the position. He looks over his shoulders, Michael Cheek, probably says to himself, you're my teammate, can't you wait until the end of this race? We've got 10.5 minutes plus a lap to go. Zyra says, I don't think so. He goes round the outside, down the back straight, takes over the lead of the race, and begin the return back towards the paddock. Neck and neck between the two Dan Holland Racing teammates. Downhill, under braking for St John's. It is number 27, Jamie Zyra, with that green and black wetsuit over his race suit, now has the race lead. Zyra, who has didn't compete in the opening 2 rounds of the championship at PF International, has been in karting for some time, as has Michael Cheek. It's a very experienced driver. Oh, and Zyra's gone off. Zyra outbrakes himself, pushing a little bit too hard, and he's in the bark at the first hairpin. Oh, he took the lead and then threw it all away. He's scrambling back into his kart. Cheek now inherits the lead, and Zyra punches his steering wheel in frustration. He just outbraked himself ever so slightly, and now he's got to clean the tyres off, calm himself down, and try and pick up as many places as he can. Yellow flags waving as Cheek comes down towards Sunny. There's a kart on the outside of the circuit, rejoining a lap down, and that will be the number 18 kart of Tim Darlow, privateer driver on the Tony kart. Oh, and he gets in the way a little bit of second place driver James Beecroft. So Nick Beecroft has passed Nathan Chafer. So Beecroft in number 72 is now into second place. The third kart in the line is a lap down, that's Tim Darlow. Then it is Nathan Chafer in the number 99 kart, under pressure from Cole Edwards, the Howarth Racing number 11 of Cole Edwards, that black and pink chassis livery kart. Very distinctive as Darlow gets out of the way and lets the lead group go past. So sensible driving there from Tim Darlow, whose chances of a decent result have gone with that spin. Michael Cheek, however, on lap number 7 with 8 and a bit minutes plus a lap to go, comes into St John's Bend with a lead of 3.3 seconds over current championship leader James Beecroft in kart number 72, privateer driver. Behind Beecroft is now Nathan Chafer. Nathan Chafer in the number 99 kart has got 2, 4, 6, 7 drivers lining up behind him. The first of which, number 11, Cole Edwards. The second of which is the number 20 kart of Daniel Tate, of Matteo Zanetti rather. The Italian driver Matteo Zanetti for the Tim Wilson Motorsport team. He runs into 5th place. He started down in 12th, so it's a good start to this race for Matteo Zanetti, although he's got Colin Davis, the recovering Luke Oliver, Charlie Whaley, the bright red RS kart, number 10. And then it's Ian Brandfield and Jamie Zyra rounding out the top 10. So Zyra in kart 27 is down in 10th place. But the two leaders are well clear. In fact, Chafer in 3rd place is also putting some distance between himself and Cole Edwards in 4th. Edwards is going to have to hold off Luke Oliver before long, because Oliver is looking a little bit racy as they come out of Sunny and up towards Paddock. Branfield, Zyra, Chris Wright, Alex Luck, Carl Churchill and James Moorcroft, the O-Plate champion, in 14th position. Then it's Adam Sadler, Joe Piffner, Chris Thomas, and the rest. Now, we did have an incident in the first final with Scotsman Alexander Kirkwood, who vaulted out of his kart, and he is okay. He's a bit bruised and battered. He did not take the start of this one. Now, we're also down to see we're missing a couple of drivers from where's Joe Bleakley is down in 19th place in the number 31 kart. He's had a problem and slipped down from the top 5. Daniel Tate did not take the start, neither did Darren Whaley. So we've got 23 karts still running. Michael Cheek, 3.6 seconds up the road as the sun begins to shine. Well, the only person now that can beat Michael Cheek as he goes around the first hairpin and comes up the hill towards Iredales, the only person that can beat him is himself, because James Beecroft is not closing in on him. Nathan Chafer coming through Iredales in 3rd place. He is 6.3 seconds behind the race leader. He's another 3 seconds behind Beecroft in 2nd, but he is 1.7 seconds in front of Luke Oliver, who has now moved into 4th place. Matteo Zanetti having a storming run in 5th position on that green and white Tony kart machine, running with the Tim Wilson Motorsport outfit. Zanetti having his best drive of the season so far, as is the number 10 kart of Charlie Whaley, privateer on that Ralph Schumacher kart. Looks with the much like a Ferrari in terms of its graphics kit. And Charlie Whaley into 6th position at the expense of Cole Edwards, Ian Branfield and Colin Davis, with Chris Wright for the Tom Smith International team rounding out the top 10 at the moment. Luck is 11th, Wright's teammate. Then it's Moorcroft, Piffner, Churchill, Chris Thomas, Joe Bleakley, Taylor Adams, Aaron Yeo, Adam Sadler, and the top 20 rounded out by Sam Winter. None of that matters to Michael Cheek, however, who is on a Sunday afternoon drive in the Cumbrian rain. See him adjusting the radiator there to let a little bit more air in as he comes into Paddock Bend. Crosses the line with 4 minutes to go to complete lap number 11, and his advantage over James Beecroft is increasing to nearly 4 seconds. Nathan Chafer is clear in 3rd place, so Chafer, privateer driver. We've got 2 privateers in the top 3. Really good news for the lad and dad teams of the paddock, as they're known in karting terms. No team around them, just family run operation. Pop-up awning next to the side of the van. Going karting old school style. There's Cheek for the Dan Holland Racing team, cruising around, counting down the minutes. He completes lap number 12, followed across the line at a distance by number 72, James Beecroft. Then it's Chafer, then it's Oliver. Now Matteo Zanetti trying to close in on the number 97 kart of Luke Oliver. 4th and 5th, Charlie Whaley, the 3rd privateer in the top 6. He's not threatening Zanetti at the moment, but Whaley coming out of the first hairpin now in that red and white kart is clear of the 2 Howarth Racing teammates, Branfield in the number 6 and Edwards in the number 11. Michael Cheek meanwhile comes through the kink. heads down towards St John's and then Sunny Bend now. His lead was 3.8 seconds. Beecroft has got it down to 3.5. 2 minutes plus 1 lap to go. The podium positions did look settled. Maybe the battle for top spot is not as settled as we thought. Behind Chafer, Oliver clattering over the curbs through the first chicane. You've got to use the curbs through that first chicane to just hook the kart into the correct direction. It's a very, very physical track here at Rowrah. It's been running karting since 1963. One of the most established venues in the UK. Michael Cheek has absolutely owned it this weekend in Rotax 177. Through St John's. Now into Sunny again. Inches away from that red barrier that is protruding over the curbs deliberately to stop drivers just launching off track, which they have done. Anything to get an advantage, even if it comes at the detriment of your steering arms. Oh, and there's a problem for Chris Whaley. Coming into Paddock Bend, Chris Whaley in kart number 10 pulls off and up the hill. Whaley, the kart has cut out. Oh, tragedy for Whaley. Out of 6th position, that puts Ian Branfield into P6, Cole Edwards into P7, then it's Davis, Wright and Luck rounding out the top 10. Nobody is in the same zip code as Michael Cheek, who had a bit of a wobble, lost a couple of tenths a lap ago. He's now re-established as leader over 3.5 seconds over Beecroft. And Beecroft himself, as he coming into Sunny now, is 3 seconds in front of Nathan Chafer. Chafer and Luke Oliver taking radically different lines around St John's than the two leaders, taking the more traditional sort of wide wet weather line, as we see Colin Davis running wide in the number 70 privateer entry. He loses a place to the two all white and gold Tom Smith International karts of number 8 Chris Wright and number 5 Alex Luck, who moved into 8th and 9th places. It's been a very, very strong drive from Alexander Luck and from Chris Wright, who retired from the earlier final. And Alex Luck was involved in that horrifying incident with Alexander Kirkwood, which saw Kirkwood exit his kart at a rate of knots. The kart deciding to then try and escape the quarry, which is the setting for the circuit, and climb the bank, but Kirkwood is okay. Obviously not in this race, because the kart is doing a very good impression of a banana back in the paddock. As the checkered flag comes out, the checkered flag waves for Michael Cheek. A dominant win on a dominant weekend for the English champion, the E-plate holder. He wins by 3.3 seconds from James Beecroft. Nathan Chafer, a hard-fought podium for Nathan. His first weekend at Rowrah in the rain. The CRG driver comes home in P3 ahead of Luke Oliver for Coles Racing. Best result of the season so far for 5th place driver number 20 Matteo Zanetti. Behind Zanetti, Ian Branfield and Cole Edwards finished 6th and 7th for Howarth Racing. 8th and 9th for the Tom Smith team is Chris Wright and Alexander Luck, and Colin Davis rounding out the top 10, just in front of British Open champion James Moorcroft. Joe Piffner in the Sodi kart is 12th, followed by Carl Churchill, Joe Bleakley, and the top 15 rounded out by Aaron Yeo. Jamie Zyra joined Charlie Whaley on the retirement list after briefly taking the lead, but Michael Cheek in cruise control all weekend, and he wins round 4 of the 2019 British Kart Championships for Rotax 177.
Michael Cheek from Dan Holland Racing does the double in Rotax 177, beating Nathan Chafer for the win by over 5.1 seconds, whereas James Beecroft, who is just a few points, make that 4 behind Michael Cheek, rounded out the podium for the second Rotax 177 final.
Yeah, well happy. We had a pilot error basically in the qualifying, was 2 seconds off. Put us grid 20 for the 2 heats, and then just mechanic JP like sorted the car out.
Got up to second. I had a slight mishap at the top chicane. I got a bit of a spin, but then recovered it back to third, and unlucky to James for his nose cone penalty, which put me to second. So happy with the result and how it's gone in the 2 finals.
Final 2, started raining again, which I was more than happy with. Didn't mind a bit of wet weather. Saw Jamie was catching me behind. He overtook me. Got into the first hairpin, saw him outbrake himself, run wide. Gutted for him, obviously. And yeah, just brought it home from there, really. Stay consistent, no faults, absolutely perfect. I just want to say big thanks to my mechanic this weekend, Piers. He's been absolutely faultless. He's been absolutely top job to him. And big thanks to DHR as well for the team and the big setup.